saying when the Holy Spirit leads you and opens a door, you hear his voice. You be obedient to it. Some of you are going to get promoted once you receive the baptism of the Holy Spirit, because this is going to happen to you. You're going to learn how to keep your mouth shut. That was too hard. Let me move on. No, because the flesh want to do things. Flesh want to say things. But when the Holy Spirit speaks to you, he said, no, don't do that. 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 Check it. Holy Spirit, help me. I always tell the story, but it's so true. When I first got filled with the Holy Spirit, baptized in the Holy Spirit. And I share this testimony because it really, I was working at working at a shoe store downtown Atlanta, and got filled with the Holy Spirit. And I was going to go to lunch. And as I was getting ready to leave, I heard the Holy Spirit says, go to McDonald's. Now, I get to McDonald's, and when I'm there and I'm in line, I see a lady and I see two of her children there. And while they were standing there, I could still see her now, you know. I could still see the lady right now as I'm telling the story. I can't too much identify the children, but I can see the young lady there. Happened over 30 years ago. And so I'm in line, and they're looking up at the menu. And as they're looking up at the menu, the Holy Spirit told me, pay for their food and help them. So I never done this before. Never felt this way before in my life. I don't know nothing about this stuff. I just feel this unction of the Holy Spirit to do it. Now, when I say unction, I'm not talking about I didn't hear audible voice. It was on inside. Didn't hear audible voice like someone was talking. It was in the inside. It was a witness. It was like a tugging. And then as I stood there, I seen them trying to pick out what they're going to do. And I'm thinking, you know what, they're just choosing whatever they're going to choose. Then the Holy Spirit says, you pay for whatever they want. So I said it real quick, though, because, you know, it's my first dealing with it, you know. I didn't do it spiritual. The Holy Spirit told me, no, I said, hey, get whatever you want, I'll buy it. I just kind of walked away, you know, on the side. She said, they looked at me, I said, whatever you want, I'll buy it. The little boy looked at Mama, looked over at me. Mama said, okay. The boy started, because I started ordering stuff. Oh, I want that, I want that, I want that. And then he wanted a little apple turnover. So I wanted apple pie. He looked over at me and says, I want an apple pie. I said, get whatever you want. And the Holy Spirit had directed me there. But it wasn't to feed them for a day. As I sat and talked with them just for a few moments, I found out they were homeless. And they were sitting there wanting to split up the little money they had. And the debate was going on, or argument was going on with which Happy Meal would we get to split it as a family, and what toy we want in the Happy Meal. Holy Spirit did that. And then I was able to help them, connect them with some people that got them out of that place. You know, they wasn't in the homeless anymore, shelter no more. I had a friend that owned, not Piccadilly's, what's the name of the place? Pascal's, that's the name of, I had a friend by the name that owned partnership with Pascal's restaurant. Y'all see them at the airport, stuff like that. And I hooked them up together. He got her room and everything for the whole entire family, and they stayed there. And I don't know anything else that happened. I know that she didn't get put out. They stayed there forever. But I'm just talking about not what I done, but what the Holy Spirit led me to do. And that was my first experience, not with tongues, not with the shout, not with the laying on of hands, but with the unction and leading of the Holy Spirit. Y'all been blessed today? So why don't you allow the Holy Spirit to lead you? Why don't you allow yourself to be filled with the Holy Spirit?